Hello, everybody. This is Adewale Adebsoye, and with me, I have the awesome and the amazing Mr. Deji, DJ Shobanjo. He's an awesome coach, a network marketer, former network marketer who's made quite a lot of money in this industry. And he's going to talk to us today about how you can use conversations to actually enroll more reps into your business. So, are you somebody out there who's been suffering from lack of the ability to enroll people? You've been talking to people and people aren't signing up in your business, or they tell you stuff like, I'm going to get back to you, I'm going to think about it. Well, today you're in for some very powerful value because Mr. Deji here is going to show you a template and a blueprint for how you can get these conversations and get your prospects, totally stark raving mad and wanting to join the opportunity. So let me hand you over to Mr. Deji. Could you take it from there, please?
Hey, first of all, I want to say thanks, Wally, for having me on. I'm really excited to be here. And for those of you who are watching this, I'm excited to be here, and I'm hoping that my intention over the next few minutes is to hand over to you. Literally, I just want you to imagine right now, right, that where you are right now, on the other side, there's a door in front of you. And on the other side is that dream business you aspire to, where, people want to join you in your business. You're easily bringing people in, and there's replication. There's, this whole situation where you go to sleep at night and then you wake up in the morning, you log into your back end and you see that while you were sleeping, your business was growing. I want you to imagine that maybe you go, it's a Saturday, you spend time with the family, you go out with your wife, maybe you go to a wedding or something. And while you're out, you just pick up your phone and you have a look and you can see that people have joined your organization while you were doing whatever. And maybe right now you're thinking, that seems so far away. I'm even struggling to convince people to join me right now. Well, I want you to understand that there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. I have been exactly in that place. I have been the guy who was sitting in front of my computer crying because I saw other people who were succeeding and I desperately wanted to succeed, but I wasn't, right? And so I'm just saying this so you can understand there's nothing wrong with you. It's just because this is where you are now. This is where you want to be. The difference is time and experience and knowledge and skills. Now, so I'm holding a bunch of keys, and this is quite symbolic because what I'm going to give you right now is the key to the door. That's what I'm going to give to you. I'm going to give you, right, the key to the door to the other side. Right now, you're on the wrong side of the door. And where you are right now is you're frustrated because what you need to get where you want to be is on the other side. And that key is knowledge, right? That key is knowledge and it's insight. And I'm going to hand the key over to you. Now, what you do with the key is completely up to you. Just take a pen and a notepad. Take some very good notes. Reflect on what I say. And everything that I encourage you to do that I share here, if you do it, you will see some amazing transformational changes in your business. What I'm about to share with you really is what gave me the first major breakthrough in my business. And I'm going to explain that to you. I started off in network marketing in the year 2002. Actually, this is my story, right? I have a mentor who just came to England. You may or may not know him. His name is Sam Adeyemi. And when he came over to England, I met with him. My wife was heavily pregnant at the time with our daughter. And this was 2002, like I said, and we sat down with him. So he was asking me about how I was getting on and how I was progressing. And then he says, well, what is it you're doing? What is it you're doing for growth? What are you doing in my career and how I was looking to move to that next level? He said, well, that's good, but what is it you're doing by the side that God can multiply? And I felt, I don't know. I'm doing by the side. I'm just trying to move forward. And he said, I've got to look for something I can do by the side that God can bless. And he was the one that sold the idea of starting a business by the side. Now, a couple of things, right? First of all, and so I started looking at business, and I began to look at initially traditional businesses. I was also looking at franchises, and quickly I realized the big problem. I didn't have a lot of money to start a traditional business. I didn't have, we're talking, even a small business, you would still need about maybe 5,000, 10,000 pounds. Where was I going to get that? I didn't have that kind of money. And that was when I stumbled across this really interesting concept called network marketing. You see, before then, nobody had ever invited me to look at an opportunity. I just felt maybe they thought maybe I was too young, or maybe they felt this guy doesn't have what it takes. But nobody, so if you were invited to an opportunity, you're much better than me, because nobody thought I was qualified in the beginning. I actually was doing my own research, and I came across the concept of network marketing. I had no bias for or against it. I had no opinion, right? So as I began to read about it, I mean, the thing that stood out for me that got my attention was, for me to succeed, I had to help other people succeed. And that really aligned with me as a person, right? So I started to do research, and I got involved in the industry. I got involved with this company, which many of you may not know, called Excel Communications, which at the time was one of the top 10 network marketing companies in the world. It was a multi-billion-dollar company at the time. And it was about telecoms. Now, I got involved when they were launching here in the UK, and I was so excited. In my head, I saw myself doing very well. You know, when they're drawing the circles. In my head, I was already thinking of the people who I was going to bring in.
Exactly.
And how they were going to bring in the people. In my head, I was going to become a millionaire in 18 months.
Wow.
So simple. I felt, who will I show this to that's not going to get as excited as I am? Exactly. I thought everybody was going to be as excited as me and want to join me.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure you can relate to this. And
I can.
Right? I then began to go out, and I would get, interesting. Oh, you'll be very good at this. But they weren't joining me. And that's when I began to realize, okay, you know what? This is probably not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Maybe, why is it that I'm so excited? I can see this, and all my friends don't see it. Everybody I'm sharing it with, they're not getting excited. Like, I'm excited. Can't they see this? And I was really shocked. But I was, and I began, my results were really terrible.
Wow.
But I think in the beginning, I just kept at it, and I began to, because I'm like this, I began to start investing in books very early on. I started to read books. I started to invest in learning. And I was reading all the books. I was going to the events, keeping myself motivated, but my results were still terrible. My results, but I think the one thing that I was doing, this is my advice to if you're really serious about this, is I had a vision. Right? With my business, I had a vision. It was my vision that was driving my activity, not my circumstances. And now let me explain this so you can understand this, right? Because these are things that would help you. Now, at the time, my total salary was less than £18,000. Which is not a lot of money. Let me rephrase that. It was probably more, because I moved into a new role. My salary was about £22,000. Right? Before tax. So let's say after tax, my take home, if I gave the tax out of 20,000, maybe a third. So let's say, what's a third of 20,000? Help me out here.
A third of 20,000 should be like.
So let's say my take home was 15K a month. 15K. And I had a wife. 15K a year. And I had a wife and I had a daughter, right? Now, every month, I used to invest in my business a minimum, I need you to understand this, of £500. My total income was probably 1,200.
Okay, wait, just stop. So £500 should be like 250,000 naira, I think. That should be like 250,000 naira in today's currency. So what you're saying is, every single month you were investing 250,000 naira into your business. Are you weren't
minimum? Minimum.
Are you weren't making any money?
Minimum. And this was not buying products. This was not buying, product from the company. This was me investing in trying to grow my business. Minimum 500.
Wow.
This was literally pretty much about half of my income. Minimum, every
something.
single month.
I want to just highlight. Okay, sorry. I want to just highlight this. There are a lot of network marketers out there who don't want to invest in themselves. They don't want to go for coaching. They don't want to buy books. They don't want to attend seminars, and they whine and complain about how things aren't working out for them. So, guys, you got to listen to this. This is Mr. Deji here, top rock star, and he was investing 250,000 naira minimum in his business. And he was in the UK and his salary wasn't that high. I mean, we're just using the Nigerian currency to do things here, because some people might watch this and say, oh, I don't earn that much. The fact of the matter is you've got to kill your excuses and invest in you as a person. So, sir, you can continue. Sorry for the interruption. You can continue. Can you hear me? Okay.
So the point is, I had a wife.
Okay.
About half of my income into my minimum. And when I say minimum, there was.
Okay, we had a bit of a snag with the connection.
So as I was failing, I was also growing. Now, I was actually feeling quite disappointed at the time. Now, 12 months into my business, it was time to renew. The renewal fee was more than all the money I'd made in the last 12 months.
Wow.
Now, this was a big defining moment for me. This was because remember, I was spending minimum £500 a month. This was 12 months later. So I had probably spent about £6,000 minimum on my business. Now, the renewal fee was about 200. I'm just saying this to put this in perspective. The renewal fee was about £200. I hadn't made £200 in my business.
Wow, seriously? Wow.
I hadn't.
Wow. And there's so many people who would have quit because they would sit down and be like, why the hell should I do a renewal? Why the hell should I buy products and do auto ships when I'm not making any money? But you see, that's the defeatist mindset that most people have, and that's why they don't succeed in network marketing. So you can continue, sir.
Critical. I was my business was critical because this was where I feel what was motivating that money. And it was really pivotal. But that was when I made a decision that I was going to give this thing whatever it takes, and whatever I needed to become to be able to get those results, I was going to become. And that's my advice to anybody who's here today. And, and your dream should be what is the extra money. My advice says you've got to have something bigger than that that's moving you. We talk about your why in business. I mean, it's commonly used in direct sales network marketing.
Yeah,
but a lot of people just write down a why for the sake of the why. Not really. It's deep down inside, it's not that important to them. Because if it is, you won't give up.
So basically, those people that give up inside of network marketing don't have a vision.
Building a business is tough. It's just that network marketing makes it easy for anybody to come in. It still doesn't change the fact that you need to go through that challenging phase. Now, what keeps you going through your challenging phase is your vision.
Okay.
And your why.
Okay.
What do you see and what is the reason why you're doing it?
Okay.
Right? When your vision is compelling and your why is compelling, you will go through whatever it takes to get to where you're going. You see, the reason it's not because they're not brilliant, it's not because the product is not good, it's simply because they are quitters. And that might not sound nice, but the truth is this, right? We have winners, we have quitters. And at some point, you and I need to decide, am I going to be a winner or am I, what is the reason why you're doing this in the first place? If your vision and your motivation, people give up on a lot of things. People quit. People are just around, but they're so true. Winners never quit. Quitters never win. It's just the way it is. Winners didn't win because they are smart or because they're strong. They simply win because they didn't give up, because they face the same difficulties, challenges, frustrations that other people face. And I saw that when I was building my network marketing businesses. New people come in every week. When you face the difficulties, challenges and the frustrations waiting for you, right? What's going to keep going and keep you staying until you break through? It is the vision and the motivation. They're hugely essential, right? So I'm really hoping that someone's watching this right now and you say to yourself, now you need to learn what you need to learn. You need to acquire the skills. You need to build the resources. You need to become the person that people want to work with, but it takes effort. It takes time. It takes money. And you need to invest that stuff into becoming the person who attracts those sort of people. And some of you will do it quicker than others. It doesn't matter how quick it takes. What's most important is you stay the journey. Wow. That's the secret. I've seen too many, and I saw it a lot. I saw it a great deal. I saw people come and people go. Talk is cheap. I saw people come and motivate, we're going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to quit.
We're going to hit the top. We're going to kill it for a lifetime. Yeah.
And then let's say 6 months,
1 month,
weeks, they have just new people.
1 month.
Right? And then what happens is you then see those who stay. Some people, it might take a while, but eventually we break through.
Wow.
A lot of people are doing breakthrough prayer. Eventually you decide. And I've been on the sides where it seems like you're putting in so much effort and nothing's happening. I've also been on the other side where you start feeling a little guilty, where you're not doing anything and you're making all this money. It's just exciting. But you've got to cross over, right? And there's a price to pay. Now, what I'm going to be sharing with you, we've kind of spent a lot of time, but hey, it's all good.
No,
what I want to share with you is really my first major breakthrough came when I really began to understand the importance of effective conversations. And that's what I'm going to kind of really just take us through and just help us to understand and guide us through having effective conversations to help us to enroll people into our businesses. Now, when I was building my business, I've been really, really struggling. Because remember, I've been doing presentations before. I've been a speaker, but this was now I needed to convince people, and that was but I would do presentations. They just wouldn't, they wouldn't do anything. I was reading the books and I was doing everything, and I was still just struggling until this point in time. I read a book and I really do believe that it's, yeah, I read a lot of books before this time, books on prospecting, books and so many really good books on like this book. In this book, I really began to understand the importance of conversations. But really, at that particular book was about asking questions,
Okay.
which is a part of what we cover, right? And the book really helped me to begin to understand that had been my focus, was trying to sell.
Okay.
You know, trying to sell my opportunity, trying to sell from the back of the room where nobody knew me to actually becoming one of the top recognized leaders with the company that I was with at the time in Europe, right? I was an entity. I was a nobody. You know, a few months earlier, all of a sudden at the European convention, I'm being invited out on stage to speak, right? Because I realized I needed to stop being a seller and to focus on being a helper. So if that's one thing you want to write down in your notebook, write it down. I need to stop selling and start helping.
What is wrong with selling? Because over here, people actually have this bias. They don't want to sell anything. They don't want to do anything. But I think maybe that's a different thing you're talking about. But could you just expound more on this?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Okay. Like I said earlier on, people don't like to be sold. They like to buy.
Wow.
So if people like to be sold and they like to buy, then it's very simple. All we need to focus on is helping them buy, not trying to sell to them.
Okay.
Right?
That's a paradigm shift.
So if we want to help them buy, the first thing we need to know is we need to find out what they want.
Okay.
See, that's it. We need to find out what they want and help them get what they want. See, that's the little secret there. So how do we do this, right? And this is where the power of what I call prospecting conversations comes to be. Now, there's a little more science to this, and maybe if there's a need, I might just come along and do some really in-depth training with you and your people and really break it down.
Okay.
But I'll just kind of give a summary of what I call a brilliant prospecting conversation, right? So let's say it was you and I, Wale, right?
Okay.
And I meet up with you, and my first intention was, "Hey, Wale, how you doing?" You know, and I'm fine, I'm brilliant. So there usually is the, "Hey, if I found a way of doing this, would you want to know more?" Simple question. That's a checking to see if there's interest. If I found out a way of doing this, would you want to know more? Right? You say yes, and then it's like, okay. Then there's a place where we ask questions. Okay, as far as it comes to career, this and all that, what's most important to you? What's working right now? What's not working right now? This is me trying to understand you and where you're coming from and what's going on.
All right.
Then there is the, okay, so what do you, so the key thing is I want to find out what you actually want. What's important to you right now?
Okay.
You know, so you begin to tell me what you want. Right. So if you were going to be doing a business, what would you want a business to do for you? So, I mean, I'm just throwing out the kind of questions that I would be asking, you know, so, well, a business that will do this, a business will do that. So you're telling me what you want. You're telling me, why is that important to you? Okay, well, it's important because da. Okay. And so the key thing here is through a conversation, primarily asking questions and listening, the two most important skills you need in this business. You can tell me what you want.
Okay.
Right? You tell me what you want. And the truth is, when I'm sincerely asking questions like this, you will tell me. So I don't come and start talking about my opportunity. Why? Because you don't care about my opportunity. As far as you're concerned, you don't care. And I need us to hear this, folks. If you're watching this video, your prospect does not care about your opportunity. They don't care about your wonderful products. They only care about what they want. But you won't know what they want unless they tell you. That's it. So if you're spending time trying to sell them what they think they want, you're probably going to be selling them on what it is you wanted, but what you wanted is not what they want.
Wow.
This is really important. So rather than, going to sell them on this does this, this does that, what if they're not interested in this and that? Right? But if you actually find out what is it they want, what's important to them, what does joy mean to them, what does success mean like to them, what would, where would they like to be, what's important, what are the things that are most important to them, then how can I help them get what they want with what I have? That's how you fit it in.
Wow. That's powerful. That's powerful.
So where they are at a place where, in the discovery called Magic, I kind of break it down in some more detail.
Okay.
We can, when they're at a place where, I remember when I started using this method, the first person I used it with, you've got to understand where I was at this stage. I was very motivated, very driven, very consistent. I was working hard at my business. It was my results that weren't great. You couldn't fault my activity. It was my productivity that was low until I began to really develop this new approach. And I remember the very first person I used this approach with. And as I sat there asking her questions, she started crying.
Wow.
Because she was very emotional about what she wanted and how desperately she wanted it, and how she was afraid that the way her life was going right now was not going to help her get what she wanted. If I had gone in trying to pitch my opportunity, trying to sell it, she would have gotten defensive. When you sell, a barrier goes up. When you help people lean forward, you've got to remember this. When you sell, a protective barrier goes up between you and the person you're trying to sell to. And this is where we then are trained as salespeople how to handle objections, which means how to break down the wall. Now, the approach that I'm recommending here, there's no wall at all because you're helping. So instead of there becoming a wall, they're leaning forward looking for a kiss, in a sense. Right? Not literally, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying here is when you use this helper approach, which is, like I said, I go into detail in discovery called Magic, this individual leaning forward and they're open to hearing your recommendation. Now, your recommendation is your business. Okay. That's the vehicle that you're going to use to help them get what they want. But the conversation is not about your business because they don't care about your business. They don't care about your opportunity. They don't care about your compensation plan. Oh, the compensation plan is a matrix with a this and with a unilevel to do it up to the nonsense. They're not even saying all of that. They're not hearing it. It's that, this compensation plan is very unique. It's very different. Trust me, right? When they are persuaded that they don't care about the compensation plan.
Wow.
Your compensation plan is irrelevant. I'm putting it to you right now. It's not as big a deal as you think it is.
Wow.
Because people don't join companies, they join people.
Boom. That's it. That's it right there.
So the problem with many of us, and I know I was like that, is you've learned too much about your company, about your product, about your industry, about your compensation plan that you're selling it. So you just say a lot of stuff, right? And the truth is, you're probably saying too much. But really, it's about really getting them to do the talking initially, uncovering what their motivation is, and then helping them to catch a vision, and then showing them how this vehicle can help them get what they want.
All right. I just want to comment. This approach, does it work with warm markets or cold markets? Or
it works with every single market. Now, there's a few things which I probably, there's the marketing side of it, so there's the marketing side of it, and there's what you need to do, like helping to be positioning, how you position yourself, as, so people are beginning to look up to you. And also working with your downline, how you work with them to help them bring people in. I don't know. We might, do some real proper network marketing training at some point in the future.
Because this approach that you talked about, it seems that it works for people who might already know you. Because if it's like strangers, then that barrier might be like, okay, why is he asking me all that? What do you feel?
No way. It's about how they perceive you before the conversation begins.
Okay.
It's about building the right perception. And there's a process to that. So for example, if you were in my downline, right? and you have your prospects.
Okay.
You would have edified me before I get on the phone with them.
Okay.
So when I get on the phone with them, I'm like, oh, my first question is, hey, Richard, how can I help you? So straight away, I'm positioning myself as a helper. Okay. Not, hey, yeah, Richard, we've got this really amazing company. Our company's changing lives. No. Richard, how can I help you? That's my first question, because it's about them, not about my company. All right. So Wale's edified me. Yes. I'm now on the phone with Richard, and I'm like, hey, yeah. So Wale said, oh, so this is my mentor DJ who's doing this, who's doing that, and this is Richard. He's my friend. He's a really sharp guy, very intelligent. He graduated with a first class. Okay, wonderful. Hey, Richard, how are you doing? Brilliant. So good. So how can I help you? Then he'll be like, oh, well, and I'm like, okay, sure. Tell me a little bit about you. Tell me. And that's how I would begin the conversation. So I'm positioning myself as a helper. I'm not trying to convince him. I'm not trying to convince him to join anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, this is a method. I told you I was bringing in 50 people a month consistently using this method.
Wow. That's powerful. So basically, it's like a three-way call where your downline just edifies you to other people, etc.
Now, that's one method. That's why I said there's a whole lot to it. That's one way of doing it.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So, for example, even if I generate cold traffic off the internet, right, or because I did a lot of online marketing back in the day. That's why I was spending a lot of money, right? Because I had no warm market. And I how you prepare them and edify them before they speak to you, so for example, they read about you online, they've read something, that there's some sort of edification before you have
Like, for instance, I have my blog, so when you land on it, people just have this perception about me, they watch my video. Yeah. So it's basically about how you can pre-frame your prospects before they actually get face-to-face with you.
Exactly. You don't want to get on a call with a person who is positioned to disrespect you.
That's true. Boom. So guys, if you're watching this, you want to write that down. You don't want to get into a call with someone who is positioned to disrespect you. So just write that down. Awesome. That's powerful. Okay, let's take it away.
Awesome. So, and that's pretty much that. And so when you then handle the conversation properly, then it's like, okay, so we've kind of identified what they want. And we said, we've also identified it makes sense for them to start a business, right? Then for network marketing, it might be a good idea to help them understand that network marketing is a brilliant vehicle that could help them. Yeah. So this is, and there's ways to do that. And then once we agree that, let's sit down and let's have a conversation, and we can work out how we're going to work with you, with the company that we're partnered with to help you achieve whatever it is you want to achieve.
Wow.
So it's pretty much, it's always about them. So this is a secret, even when we're showing them the plan.
Yeah.
So I'm talking, especially one-to-one. It's about showing them the plan towards achieving their goals.
Wow. That's awesome. And I think a lot of network marketers miss that out. They bring this desperation, this desperate energy. It's all about, I want to get the sign up, rather than, okay, what do you want and how, and then positioning the company as a vehicle to take them towards that vision which they've painted for you. That's amazing.
It's really, so basically, as you're showing them the plan, they're in the picture. We're consistently talking about their goals and their dreams and their aspirations. We're then helping them know that we are going to be there to support them and help them travel this journey. So they can, because they're thinking, how can I do this? But then there's like, I'm going to be there with you. Oh, great, I'm not alone. But we're showing them this, and we see them as, can you see how this would happen? Yes. Can you see how and they're seeing it, and they're excited because they're beginning to see the possibilities of this thing that they want, but they probably were not sure was going to happen. Their belief begins to grow. When people believe, they buy.
Wow.
So our job is to help them to believe, because when they believe, they buy. And when you master this Discovery Call magic, now go to Discovery Call. Do you have a link? You can share your link for folks to go ahead and get it and get the book. In fact, this is my encouragement. Get the book. The book is really cheap, right? But when you get to the shopping cart, there's the option to add in the audio recording of Discovery Call Magic Masterclass.
Okay.
My advice is get the audio as well. Yes, it costs you a little more. The reason why you want to get the audio is the book gives you the knowledge. The audio, you get it and you listen to it at least once a day for 30 days. The audio is what's going to give you a mindset transformation.
Wow.
Because the knowledge is not enough. Because even though you know it, without the mindset transformation, when you're with a prospect, you will go back to default, which is try to sell because you're afraid. But the audio is what's going to help to transform your mind, to renew your mind, to reshape your thinking so that your behavior would align with your knowledge. See, many people know stuff, but they still don't do it because their behavior is not aligned with their knowledge. So when you make the investment in getting the Discovery Call Magic audio recording of the masterclass and listen to it every day for 30 days, buying it won't help. But buying it and listening to it every day for 30 days and read alongside reading the book will give you the knowledge, but also help you to renew your mind or to reshape your thinking so that you will be able to do it. Because knowing it and doing it are two different things.
Wow, Mr. Deji, that's awesome. So guys, if you're watching this video, all you have to do is just click the link that I'm going to post below this video and get Discovery Call Magic. Don't allow a poverty mindset to hold you back. This is something that you need. So is it like going to be physical copy or are you going to ship?
It's a digital copy. It's a digital copy of the book. It's also a digital audio copy. So the beautiful thing is as soon as you place your order, you're getting access like straight away. So
Awesome.
It, you get it, you're reading it, you're listening to it, like just like that.
All right. So Mr. Deji, how long did it take you to break through in network marketing from starting from being a complete noob to actually being recognized on stage by top European leaders? How long did it take you?
It took me 18 months. But it took me 18 months and it took me close to 10,000 pounds as well.
Wow. It took him 18 months and Mr. Deji was someone who's consistent. Now, guys, you need to remember something. Human beings are different. We're all different. Eric Worre used to say, you are either punished or rewarded for the life you lived before network marketing. So when you come into network marketing, you're coming with a lot of beliefs, you're coming with a lot of limiting beliefs, limiting filters, and you are going to have to change your mindset and go through whatever it is you need to go through in order to break through. And I think it varies from person to person. Everybody has their own journey that they have to go through in order to break through. And if you don't walk on your own journey, then life is going to just keep throwing you around and you're just going to keep going in circles and circles. So that's exactly what it is. I mean, just listen to Mr. Deji's story. You got to go through what you need to go through. And you have to have that vision because if you don't have that vision, you are going to quit. Am I right, Mr. Deji?
Definitely. You've got to have a vision and you've got to have the motivation. Your why is your motivation.
Okay.
So you've got to have motivation, which is why your motivation is the thing that is, let me explain the two of them because you've got to have both motivation and vision.
Okay.
Right? Your motivation is your why. Your vision is what you see.
Okay.
Right. So again, I'm just going to throw a little bit of Christianese in here. Just bear with me.
No problem.
Right? You know, the Bible, you know, says for the joy that was set before him, the vision.
Okay.
Right. He endured the cross and despised the shame. And now he is set with the Father. So he saw something in his future. And because of what he saw, he was able to go through what he went through. He didn't go through what he went through because he was strong. He went through what he went through because he had a vision. But he also had a motivation. And his motivation, right, and you know, was that there were certain other people who he didn't want them to suffer the consequence of his sin. That was his why. Okay. He had his why, his motivation was me. He saw me and he felt he wanted to redeem me. And so that was his motivation. But he also had his vision. There was joy set before him. There was the reward. Reward. So there's the reward is the vision. The why is the change that you're going to create. That's important to you. So when you've got your motivation and your vision, and they're both very clear. In the beginning, it might just be motivation, but you need to have a vision. You need to have a vision of success. You know, your why is not enough. You've got to have your why. You've also got to have what you see. right? And when you marry your motivation and your vision, right, it helps you to go through because you need to go through. There's no going through to without before a getting. There's no getting to without a going through.
Wow, wow! You just killed it right there, like what you just said. There is no getting to without a going through. So a lot of people, especially in the network marketing space in Africa and Nigeria, they have this lottery mindset that, look, network marketing is easy. It's just like a lottery. You put in 1,000, you get out 5,000. Or some crazy stuff like that. But when I look at the top leaders that I respect and I look up to, they went through a process. It's like David in the Bible. He went through a period where no one knew who he was, and he was grinding in the backside of nowhere. And one day, the breakthrough happened. I think, yeah, keep it, continue.
Well, you know what you shared there is phenomenal, folks. And I hope you heard what he said. David was anointed at 17.
Wow.
He didn't get onto the throne till he was about 30. Jesus, right? Same thing. From 12, he was already manifesting. So he had it there, but he didn't show up till he was 30.
Wow.
There's the law of process. Many of us want the quick success story. And, you know, anybody who's a quick success story was not really a quick success story. You've got to understand this.
Yeah.
Let me explain what I mean. Someone who comes into a company and then within 2 months, 3 months is like at the top of the plan, it's because they have developed leadership before they joined your company. When I got started, it took me a while because I was young. I was 27 when I got started. I didn't have a lot, and I had to develop myself as a leader to attract people to me. Some people had already developed themselves as leaders before they come in, and so they were more attractive than I was. But if you grow yourself, you will attract people.
Wow.
And so the key thing, and I'm kind of saying this because we say all this. Some people are going to look at Discovery Call Magic, especially the audio, and say, I can't buy this audio. The audio is too much. You know, now the thing is, that is you not valuing yourself. And I'm sorry.
I like how you switched to Nigerian right there. Right? You got it.
That is you not valuing yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you value yourself, you will invest in yourself. And I'm, you know, why would you look at something and say it's too pricey?
Jeez, man.
Invest in yourself.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. I mean, when I said I was spending, I was investing. Why am I? Thank God, because I have a long distance to travel. The reason why I'm where I am today, and I say this with a lot of humility, was because I valued myself enough to invest in myself. In fact, I'm going to go back. Please bear with me.
No, continue.
Network marketing. 1999, I was serving in Lagos, and I was working at UAC. And I remember I bought this book. Now, you've got to understand, I was on corporate salary, and corporate salary, as anybody knows, is shite. Excuse me.
No. It's fine.
Now, I remember going, as soon as I got paid, I went out, and the company I was with weren't paying me anything. I mean, they were paying me crap. I can't remember. So I went out and I bought a book. The book at the time was called Developing the Leader Within You by John Maxwell. And it was a big chunk of, my NYSC allowance. And I remember there was this guy in the company who was there. He was studying, and he's much older than me, and he makes a lot of money. Now, I say it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money to me as a corper, but actually it was the price of a bottle of beer. Right? But, corpers don't earn big money. You know what I mean? So, and I still remember this guy looked at the book and said, he went through and said, this book good, oh. This book good. He said, how much you buy him? And I told him, it costs, oh. It costs. Now, this same guy, when I'm leaving work, going home, I see him hanging out with people, drinking beer. Now, in a day, he would spend more money on beer than the cost of that book. But he had no problem buying beer, but he did have a big problem investing in a book, in personal growth. That's how much he valued himself and his personal development. The reality is this. This is not network marketing. This is you as an individual.
They're related. They're related.
Now, if you don't value yourself, you will shortchange yourself. You will be online looking for free stuff. You would be playing that game for so long. You'll be coming up with excuses. I don't have money. I don't get money. I don't get money. I don't get money. The truth is, if it's important to you, you will find a way. I remember the very first time. You see, I look at where I am now. I remember the very first time I bought a 500-pound product by Randy Gage. I don't know if you know Randy Gage.
I have Duplication Nation, MLM Rockstar. I have his stuff.
And I think it was Duplication Nation that I got at the time. At the time, it was $500.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I was buying and I bought it. And I remember that program. It was a big investment. I remember the first time I did a $2,000 investment one time. It's a big thing, but I'm investing in me. I've got to believe I'm worth it.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's the same thing for you. Why would you shortchange yourself? Why would you be saying, can I get a free copy? That's so, it is chaining yourself. You do that, you're chaining yourself. You're limiting yourself. You're saying you're not worth investing in. You're saying that your brain, your personal development, you're not worth investing in becoming the kind of person people are attracted to. That's what it is. We need to break this mindset, this limiting mindset, and we need to start making a commitment that I'm going to invest in this person. I appreciate me, I value me, and I know that the more I invest in me, and when I say invest, not just money. Money is big, it's a big part of it. But what's the point of buying a program and then having it sit in a corner? If you get Discovery Call Magic, and if you don't listen to it every day for 30 days, I'm going to come open your door, and I'm going to, okay, I'm joking, but
I know.
Right, is get this stuff. Do get Discovery Call Magic, and it will change your life and it will change your business if you implement it. I promise you that. So get the book and get the audio, right? Don't be stingy. The book is really cheap. The audio is really cheap because the audio itself, when we did the masterclass, it was £97 or £100, which is about 50,000 naira, right? So you're getting it much cheaper than that. 50,000 naira. How much is that, right? All right, fair enough. For some people, that might be half of your salary. Yeah, and that's understandable, but it will transform your business. But you're getting it at a much cheaper price if you order it now alongside the book. The book, I think, is about 3,000 naira. It's a no-brainer, right? So get it. Don't overanalyze it. Get it. So, but don't just get it. Don't buy the book and have it on your hard drive. Buying the book is not it. It's getting it into you, and then listen to the audio over and over and over, and then implement it, and you will see a transformation. You will grow, and you will become the leader that people want to join. People don't join companies. People join people. Have you invested in yourself enough for people to see the value and then want to join you? That is the secret.
Boom, Mr. Deji, this is powerful. Like it's fire right now. I'm so excited because this interview and Discovery Call Magic is actually going to change lives. All right. Someone's going to watch this video. Someone's going to buy Discovery Call Magic and their lives are going to be transformed. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get this. I'm an insider and I want to go through the masterclass like 30 days, like doing over and over and over again. I remember I did that for a network marketing product that I got, and I think it's actually changed my mindset. So doing that 30-day stretch is awesome. All right, Mr. Deji, so thank you so much for your time. You brought a lot of value. You brought a lot of value. Nigerian network was misbehaving. I had to restart my internet, but I'm sure that people who want to get value are still going to get value because you brought it like it's hot. All right. Do you have any final words that you'd like to share before we end this call?
Don't quit. Don't give up on your dreams. That's it. Don't give up on your dreams. As long as you don't quit, you still have a chance of winning. Right? There's, how does the Bible say? The Bible says there's more hope for a living dog than for a dead lion.
Yeah. Awesome.
Right? All right. So don't quit. As long as you're still breathing, just keep on going. Right? Keep on believing, keep on growing, keep on doing. Grow, do, grow, do, grow, do, grow, do.
And then one day you're going to break through. Mr. Deji, thanks so much. God bless you loads. It's been really, really amazing. So guys, remember, invest in yourself. Don't let a poverty mindset stop you. All right. You are going to be up the same person that you were last year, except for the people you meet and the books you read. I remember last year I made an investment of like over 400,000 naira in an NLP course, and that was for me and my wife. And I was looking at it like, how the hell am I going to raise that money? But I knew I had to do it, and it has transformed me totally. So guys, this is the hidden secret of all top earners. It's grow, do, grow, do, grow, do. You got to be ruthless about investing in yourself. So click the link below and get Discovery Call Magic and the audio and listen to it over and over again. So thank you very much, Mr. Deji. I'm going to end this right.
You take care.
Take care, sir. Bye.